People, the Crown Prince of Iran has just made an extraordinary, important announcement about the leadership of Iran. Have a listen to this.
We have breaking news out of the Middle East. Reza Pahlavi, the Crown Prince of Iran, just made an extraordinarily important announcement about the future of Iran. Take a look.
The Iranian people have called on me to lead the transition after the regime is gone. I have accepted that responsibility. Part of their great mandate to me is to return our nation and our foreign relations to normalcy. I will do exactly that. My commitment is to ensure the transition is orderly, the country is stabilized, and Iranians determine their future through the ballot box. We will not repeat the mistakes of past transitions. We will avoid de-Baathification scenarios and maintain as many bureaucrats and public servants in transition as possible. Iranians have made their choice at an enormous price. Now I ask our friends in the Arab world to join us, to prepare to recognize and engage our transitional government. We will rebuild our nation not for expansion, but to serve the Iranian people. We will base our diplomatic relations not on exportation of ideology, but on mutual respect and shared interest. We will reintegrate into the regional and global economy to increase prosperity for the citizens of all of our nations. Standing with the Iranian people is not charity. It is a strategic investment in making our region one of the most stable, secure, and prosperous in the world. Together, we can build a Middle East our children will be proud to inherit. Take this new path with us.
Nicole John said,
People, this is good news. And if it happens, I believe that this war in the Middle East will end. Because he seems like someone that is, that's there he's there. The people like him. The people of Iran like him. And he looks like someone you can talk to, like you can negotiate with him. So let's hear what our mate Raj has to say about this.
a journalist in Jerusalem, joins us now. So Nicole, my friend, before we even get to what happens next, how much longer is the Iranian regime going to be able to keep putting up a fight? And, people are saying, well, you took out the Ayatollah. When's this regime crumbling? What do you hear?
Well, it's so interesting to be talking about this on right on the heels of this breaking news, because I feel that in the last couple of days, we've gone from wondering what the capabilities are of the regime to hearing the results of the combined U.S. and Israeli military campaign, to now, even as recently, just today, I was in a briefing with somebody, an expat Iranian who works for advocacy and democracy in Iran, who said that her sources are talking about the coming collapse of the regime, that there are defections and people are leaving the Basij, leaving the IRGC. They're putting down their weapons. They're throwing their phones so that their commanders will assume that they've been killed, and then they are trying to disappear and basically defect. And so what she was calling for.
Did you hear that? The people are throwing away their phones. So, well, these are people in the Iranian army. They're throwing away their phones so that you cannot trace where they're going. They're deflecting from the country. They're fed up. Who wants to die and they don't even know what they're dying for? I don't blame them, to tell the truth, brothers and sisters. They are deflecting. They've had enough. They don't want to fight anymore.
Was for the international community to start to encourage this, even overseas, even in other countries, from diplomats and workers in embassies, to encourage more defections, because she said all of this is going to culminate. It becomes a critical mass that could change everything overnight.
Well, obviously,
And for those of you who might be saying, oh, they should fight and defend their country and all these things, if it was your children, if it was your brother, your sister, your uncle, your auntie, would you be saying the same thing? I don't think so.
nature abhors a vacuum, and let's say this regime were to collapse, I think the vast majority of Western allies, the vast majority of Persians, it seems like in the diaspora, would be 100% behind the crown prince. But I know that there's other factions, trying to vie for power, I guess you could say, in this moment. Who are some of the other players in this transition government? Again, nothing's happened officially yet. The regime's still in power. But what are some other people we should be keeping our eye on, at least?
Right. And also, by the way, I don't know. It appears to be that Reza Pahlavi is the popular choice of the people. It appears to be, but I don't claim to know that as well. Although everybody I've interviewed, and I've interviewed several Iranians and analysts of Iran, are saying that he would be the natural choice. Now, other groups, for instance, there is the MEK, which is the Mujahideen al-Khalq, and I think it's like Mujahideen of the People, and they are an a Marxist Islamic group that some people have said is more like a cult because of the demands that they have of their people. Like they demand that the women wear hijab, even though they say that they're against the current regime, but they still have their own sort of Islamist, like a secular Islamist system. In any case, Mariam Rajavi is the head right now of that party. She has also declared herself the head of a transitional government. She did that a couple days ago before Reza Pahlavi. So it's just very interesting. There's also, I've asked many questions. I have to say, Iran is a historic and extremely large and massive nation, 90 plus million people, and
wow.
I think 17 minority groups, something like that. So I can't say that I have any expertise. So I'm asking the experts, and I have asked several people, what will happen with all these minority groups? For instance, we're hearing about the Kurds being armed to go and to do a ground invasion and to lead an uprising on the ground, which, people are saying that though the Israeli-American bombing campaign has been extremely effective in taking out missiles and missile launchers and intelligence sites and a lot of the infrastructure, an airstrike alone or a series of airstrikes cannot change the regime. So
Okay, I'm going to end it right there. If you want to watch the rest of the video, just go over to CBN News and you'll be able to watch more of that video. And what she just said there, no matter how much bombing that the USA or Israel do, it cannot change the regime. They need a regime change to see a change. Now, what you see happening in Iran right now, and what you hear, and when you hear the Reza talking about stepping into a transitional leadership role, you have to ask yourself: are we watching history change in real time? Are we watching history change in real time? Because as Christians, this isn't just politics. Now, the Bible talks about nations rising and falling of thousands of years ago, but what really is interesting is that Persia is modern day Iran, and Iran is actually mentioned in prophecy in books like Ikizel, if I pronounce that right. It talks about future events connected to Israel. Now look, I'm not saying that we know the exact timeline, but nobody does except for God. Only God knows the timeline. But when the same nations the Bible talks about starts making big moves on the world stage, you can't help but pay attention. So maybe the real question we have to ask today Are we watching prophecy slowly lining up right in front of us? I don't know. Only God knows. People, let's hope that there's a change. Let's hope there's a change very, very soon, because we don't want nobody to die. Continue to pray. Continue to pray for freedom. Continue to pray for dignity. Continue to pray for justice. Get down in the comment section and let us know what you think about what's happening right now in Iran and in Israel and in the USA. Let me know what you're thinking. Do you think that this is the beginning of World War III? I don't know. I really don't know, but let's pray for a change. And remember, prayer changes things, and we have to pray until something happens. God bless you all. Thank you for listening, and I'll be back with another reaction video very, very soon.